This is the Spring Boot final project. I'm doing a victory garden, and I'm creating a database that holds all of the vegetables, the plants, and by name and by type. And attached to those plants, I will have a schedule that indicates when to sow the seeds, when to transplant the seedlings, and when to harvest the vegetable or fruit. Also, a one-to-one relationship between plant and schedule. There's also a one-to-one relationship with the plant and the climate. And then there'll be a many-to-many relationship between the plant and the bed. And the bed, so let's take a look at what we've got here then and how we created that. So there are the four entities. I've got plant, I've got bed, I've got climate, schedule, and then in the plant, you'll see here where we've done our one-to-one relationships with the schedule and the climate, and then the many-to-many relationship between plant and the bed. The garden controller is where all the post and put, get, and delete mapping has been placed. So we'll be going through all of that, and we'll be doing those CRUD operations in the ARC. Garden Services then has all of the methods for which everything will be carried. dBeaver, just to show you. All right, currently there are no tables that are created in dBeaver. We'll go to Eclipse and we'll go ahead and run the application, and this will generate the tables. Here you can see in Hibernate, the tables are being created. So let's go over and take a look in dBeaver. So I'm going to refresh. And here you can see all of the beds, or I'm sorry, all of the tables. The first one being the bed, and here again, it'll show you vertical, container, or raised. We've got the climate table. We have the plant table, which contains at this moment 11 plants. We have the plant bed. So this will show the plant via its ID and what type of bed through the bed ID is preferred. And some plants, because it's many to many, can utilize all three beds. So, and then there is the schedule, again, which shows which preferred climate for each plant. So let's go to ARC and let's see if we can test some of this and make sure everything's working the way it needs to. Here I've got, let's start with the get. So we're just going to go ahead in the plant entity. We'll take a look, and this now pulls up all of the plants and all of its parameters. So I've got the plant, its name, its type, the climate that it wants, the schedule that it's on, and the beds that it's contained in. And this is all the way through each plant, auto-generating the IDs up to plant number 11. Let's clear that, and we'll go and we'll see about doing a post. I decided that I've been so successful that I want to plant potatoes. So I've got potatoes here. I've entered in all of the information, its type, the climate choice, the schedule that it's on, and the beds that I'll be planting it in. So I can go ahead and submit that, and you can see our response was successful. It's now been given the ID of plant number 12, and we can go back to dBeaver and let's refresh that. There we go. ID number 12 is now potatoes. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to do a put. A put will allow me to make changes. So I've decided that I made a mistake. It's not potatoes that I've got in there, but pumpkins that I planted. The seeds look awfully. There we go. So I've decided that potatoes was wrong. I didn't plant potatoes. I planted pumpkins. So I want to update that. So we'll submit that, and you can see here now it's showing that in my plant ID place that my potatoes were in. Now it should be pumpkins. So let's go back and refresh. And there you can see um, potatoes has been changed to a pumpkin. Well, now what happens if I decide I didn't do very well with growing those? Maybe what we need to do is we need to delete those because all of that information now. So we're going to go into the body. I'm going to select all here, and instead, this is what we're going to do is we are going to delete item number 12. So you can see here, the message says the deletion of plants with the ID number 12 was successful. We'll go back to dbeaver and let me refresh. And we'll pull up that table and we'll see if ID number 12 has gone. So there we go. We're back to the original state of my tables.